All right, back in one of my favorite places that I've ever been to in my life on the trails of Southern Illinois. So I wanted to talk about, I think one vital mistake that I made with meditation, very like naive mistake. I think that looking at it as a direct fix for like thought and emotion or something, as it might be proposed in the mainstream media as like this scientific benefit to improve your mental and emotional health. Actually, I don't think that's a good way to look at it, even though it's kind of, there was this beautiful analogy that I heard about like something about like peeling an orange and like peeling an orange and like looking at the peel, some sort of like symbolic analogy that like you're missing the point of the main part of it. So I think this is one mistake that I made. I thought that, okay, if I feel or think a certain way, let me just like meditate and fix that. It's not like that. Of course, since I was small kid, just naturally I know whenever I want to like be by myself and when that helps me. But I completely abuse that in my mind in a, maybe this sounds kind of extreme or dramatic, but like a perverted way of using that I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want with my life and then meditate and then continue to do whatever the hell I want, no matter how reckless that was. So let me just go ahead and say that. I think this is a valuable thing I've learned in my experience. If you live a depressing life, you're going to be depressed. I think that's as simple as it is. I wish more people would say that. I know this might be like controversial, especially with like college culture of like, oh, it's the chemicals in your brain. You have to take care of yourself. Just sort of this. I think honestly, also this is like more applicable to men too. That men with depression, I think, or men who have had, men with depression, we want to feel like we're in charge of our lives. It's not so much about like feeling like taken care of and all soft and stuff. We want to feel like we have control. We don't need to. It's that like confidence, I guess, in a way. Like we don't want to feel all soft and vulnerable to everything. Whenever I was younger, I never worried about what I did or anything. I just lived and just threw myself into situations and was just kind of like adventurous. And I felt like my life was in my hands, not dependent on external situations. And I think that's my opinion. I think that's what is needed more of now with regards to those things. And this is coming from someone who has had depression before, and now I've not had it for a while, and I've not used like that medication or anything for a while. But that's kind of different than like the mainstream thing. They're saying, they kind of classify you as the type of person that, okay, you're someone who's a depressed person. You need medication. You need this or that. And I would disagree. And maybe in certain cases, of course, some people are more genetically predisposed to those things. Even perhaps myself, some people are just more inclined to being more emotional. I think I am, of course, I am. But I think how we have dealt with that in mainstream society is completely wrong. And it's almost kind of like a very disgusting way that we're managing human beings. So I think it really comes down to like, if you live a depressing life, you're going to be depressed. I think so. You have to find emotional and physical expression for yourself. And that's something that largely for people like me and maybe a lot of other people is not fulfilled by sitting in a classroom and sitting at a desk on a laptop and doing your homework. Not saying that those things aren't important and that we need to do those, or that you can't find love in your education or find a beautiful love for like learning and everything. I think that's a great way to do education. That's the intelligent way to put your emotion into it. But there's something else. There's something else. I think I knew this since I was a kid. I wanted something else to find like expression for myself, emotional expression and physical expression. So I think that's what is needed. That's what is needed. So often now I think we find that if someone is not happy with working a 9 to 5 and drinking on the weekends, then something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them and they need to be medicated. That is a social standard. That's a social standard. And we need to abide by society's things for certain reasons, but that doesn't mean that the human expression is limited to those things. So that's what I would say. And I think, especially, with meditation or yoga or this sort of spirituality and trying to extend your sense of self to something larger than your own thoughts, beliefs, emotions, that's what meditation is really about. Expanding your sense of self, and not some crude way to manage your thoughts and emotions. Of course, there's some effect there. There's no doubt about that. There's some effect there, but really, I think that's missing like the core aspect of it. So, yes, I wanted to say that. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video, but honestly, I think that's a key thing that we miss now is if you live a depressing life for long enough, you will become depressed. If you have enough of an emotional sensitivity to that, that's what it is. If any human being doesn't find enough physical and emotional expression, they will be prone to those mental and emotional issues. So hopefully this isn't too controversial, but that's what I feel. That's what I feel from my experience, and I think that's what is true. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I guess if you want to like comment or share your opinions, try to know that this is the perspective I'm coming from is one of like personal experience and not of debate, of debating empirical evidence and constructing like a logical argument. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Let me wrap up with this actually. So I don't think that there is something wrong with so many human beings' mental and emotional aspects to them that this many people that we have in modern times need support from medication or counseling or something like that. I think it's something wrong with how we have structured our day-to-day lives, how we interact with each other, how we live our day-to-day lives, what we choose to fulfill ourselves with extracurricular wise. I think there's something wrong with that. I really don't think, maybe this is going to I'll go ahead and say it, what I really feel, but I don't think that the creator or the source of where we come from has erred as in E-R-R-E-D. Hopefully that's a right word. That greatly, that this many people are just depressed type people. This many people are anxious type people. This many people are whatever type people. I think the human being is just not finding expression. So many human beings are not finding the proper amount of physical expression and emotional expression. Those aspects are largely unused in today's society. And that's something that we should change with our culture. We should change, especially now so many people are living in unprecedented levels of comfort and convenience. We don't have to worry so much about survival. This is something that should change. We should look for poetry. We should look for arts and so many other ways that we can imply our intelligence other than just intellect. So yes, this is what I feel. This is what I feel in my experience. And you know what? This is kind of a flex, I feel like, for me, but I was depressed. I took depression medication for a while, so many months or something, and then I stopped for like 2 years. And I learned like how to express myself and to find expression for those things, and it changed my life. So this is not to say like a given person in a certain situation shouldn't take medication or get help, because that's what I needed at that time. But in terms of like a long-term thing, I don't think the way that we're doing things is good. I don't think so. So yeah, I think that's like a positive thing that I wanted to end off the video with, that we can live better. We can live better as human beings. There's a certain expression that is lacking in the mainstream culture. So yeah, anyway, that should be it. Thank you for watching.